Hi, friends. You're probably wondering why in the world am I standing next to this Yule tree? And why is my Yule tree still up? It's February. Well, it has been a winter, y'all. We usually get our Yule tree up right after Samhain, which is at the same time as Halloween, and we usually keep it up until Imbolc, which is on the 1st of February. 1st of February is come and gone, and here it is, it's still here. Well, we got that snowstorm, which I think everybody in the eastern half of the U.S. got this giant snowstorm. It was either snow or ice. We were lucky that it was snow and we didn't get the ice and we didn't lose power, thank goodness. But we have been under a foot and a half, 2 foot of snow this whole time, and I just needed to keep up some little cheery, sparkly, fun thing in my house to try and keep my mood boosted because I have a hard time not being able to go outside much for 6 months of the year because I can't do the winters here in the Midwest. I just can't do it. We've been here for 15 years now, and I am not going to get acclimated to it. It's just not going to happen. If it hasn't happened in 15 years, it ain't happening. I am a Southern California girl through and through. So I don't deal well with winter in general. There's a lot of, I have seasonal affective disorder, which I didn't have in California because, we get sunshine every day. But out here, you get even just months of no sunshine and dreary, dark, nasty, cold weather. And this year, it's been exceptionally cold, like under zero. I think one night, um, was it during the day? I think it was at night or maybe just as the sun was coming up. It was -9. You guys, I don't even think that's a real number. Okay, stop it. Stop it. And it hasn't gotten out of the 20s for a while. Until yesterday and today. I think it's been in the high 30s, maybe even 40s, dare I say. And all of the snow has melted. Well, not all of it. Yeah, you can still probably, I don't know if you can see some snow out there. Probably not because the way the sun is shining through the window, you probably can't see it. But there's still some snow, but it's not the 2 feet or foot and a half or what that we have been under for weeks. For weeks. So, the big thaw of 2026 has happened. So, I'm thinking that my Yule tree here has probably seen the last of 2026. So I thought in solidarity with my Yule tree, I would make a video here. But anyway, today I want to talk about changing your thoughts to change your life. This has been such a game changer for me, and it was something that I first got exposed to through therapy, of course. And it is hard work. It is very hard work. But once you become aware of negative thoughts, negative thought patterns, negative emotions, or like bad habits, once you become aware of it, well, then you can start taking the steps to reverse it. If you're having a horrible thought about I just can't do it, I'm a loser, whatever, insert your negative thought that you usually get. Become aware, take a few deep breaths, feel gratitude for the life that you have, and then think the opposite thought, or another happy positive thought. Remember, you are your best friend. So would you talk like that to your best friend? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't talk like that to anybody, but certainly not my best friend. So why am I treating myself like that? So I've had to really do a lot of work, um, and in a lot of ways. No, I think it's in all ways. Actually, changing your thought patterns and changing your habits and re- rewiring your brain, especially if you've had these thoughts and these habits and these actions and you've been living in that for a long time, like I had. It is hard. It is hard to change. It's hard to become aware of every time you're giving yourself a negative thought or you're feeling bad about yourself, or you want to drown your sorrows in a bottle of wine or whatever. It it's a lot of work, and it is more work than losing weight. I have lost a large amount of weight, probably 3 times in the past, and that is 60 pounds or over. I've done that at least 3 times in the past. So I have to say that working on your brain and your emotions and changing the wiring in your brain is harder than losing weight. But it's worth it. It's worth it. Because on the other side, you will feel so much peace and you'll feel so much better, and you'll feel like you belong in your body. You feel like you'll belong in this headspace. You will get rewards from putting in all that really hard work. And one of the things that I mean, I'm not perfect. I am still working on this, and as a human, will probably always be working on this. There are always going to be things that we can do better, or things that we were not aware of before, but we've suddenly become aware of. That's just human nature. That's just us finding our way in this 3D reality. And one of the struggles that I've been having lately is resistance. And I like I said in my past videos, I'm taking a whole bunch of courses. I probably bit off more than I can chew, but I'm super excited and I am ready to make some huge changes in my life this year. I am ready, ready, ready. So I signed up for a whole bunch of classes. Well, some of them I had signed up for in 2023. I had already paid for them, but I just never went through them. This year, I bought 2 more courses from her and from the same lady. Her name is Sarah Cannon. Oh my gosh, you guys! Even if you're not a writer, she has such great information for anybody who wants to change their life, who wants to be more productive, who wants more accountability, who wants to plan for the future. There's a lot of people in these classes that I'm going through, these courses I'm going through, who aren't authors. They're working on their health, they're working on building businesses, they're working on other things besides that. Um, but I cannot say enough great things about Sarah Cannon. Um, but she talks a lot about resistance. And I have never really understood. I mean, I felt it obviously, but I couldn't put a name to it. And I wasn't sure why I was having it. I thought it was my problem. I was born this way, and I'm doomed. I'm just doomed because I can't fight it. I don't understand why I can't get over this. But she really broke it down, and she talked about this resistance we get when we want to, for instance, sit down. If you're a writer, sit down and start writing, putting words on the page, or exercising. I get that all the time. Well, I get resistance to all of this, all these things I'm going to list. Exercising, I get up in the morning, and if especially the last, I don't know, 3, 4 nights, I have not been sleeping well, and I just don't feel like putting on my shoes, getting onto the treadmill, and working out. I'm like sick of it, and I feel that resistance. It could be other things, eating right, or getting up and going to work in the morning, a job that you're not really happy about, but you get all this resistance. And she really explained it in a way that I can understand, and then think about why am I in my particular instance, why am I getting this resistance? And I have been meditating on it and thinking about it a lot, journaling on it, and I've come to the conclusion that there's a couple of reasons. Throughout my life, I have always tried to do so many things, and I failed. I have failed in almost everything I have done. I mean, I graduated high school. I did go to college. I was on the honor roll. I was in the honors courses. I had a 4.0 GPA. I loved college. But then we moved from California to Indiana, and Indiana's a red state, so they don't have the programs here that they had in California, which was paying for me to go to college. The reason why we moved here is because I had a grandson that was going to be born soon, and I didn't want to miss out on his life. So we chose to move here, and I stupidly thought that, well, every state has got to have a program like this, right? Right? I mean, it's education, it's bettering yourself so you can enter the workforce and have a better future. But no, not in Indiana. So I wasn't able to finish college. And that was heartbreaking for me because I really loved college. But other things that I've done throughout my life, I was never able to finish, or I was never able to get the kind of success that I wanted. And so I've got all of that built up, that thought of failing back in my brain somewhere. And so I'm afraid of failing. And if I resist, if my brain puts up this resistance and I don't even try, well, that means I can't fail, right? That means I can't fail. That means I won't get the heartbreak and the sadness, and I won't have so much disappointment in myself. If I don't try, I don't lose. So that's one reason. My fear of failure. And lately I've been thinking, well, okay, there's got to be some other things. There has to be something else. And I've come to realize that I also have a fear of success, succeeding in what I'm doing. And this is the life that I have always known. I have been a housewife since I was 18 years old, and I became a mom. All I've ever done is raise kids. So, what if I I am successful? What if I do write a bestseller or bestsellers? Or what if I don't, well, maybe they're not bestsellers, but maybe they sell enough that I'm actually making a living, my own money. Wow. What if my YouTube channel takes off and I'm making money, like my own money? Wow. What if I do lose weight? What if I'm not constrained by this extra weight and this feeling of being weighed down by not only the weight, but all it represents, all being overweight represents in our society? What if I'm all of a sudden free of that? I've never been free of that. I was born a chubby baby. I was a chubby kid my entire life. I went on my first diet, my first fast in 6th grade. So this is a lifelong thing, and it would be a different world. It would be like walking on the moon. It would be like I just arrived at Pandora, and I'm ready to go out and exploring. Like it would be a totally different world, and maybe I'm afraid of that too. So I just wanted to come on here and explain some reasons behind maybe why you're also feeling this resistance, and some things that you can do to help with that. Um, James Clear talks about having little tiny micro goals in his book Atomic Habits. I highly recommend that book. Just chop down your goals into tiny little pieces, and it's much more attainable, much easier, much quicker to attain that goal, those little goals, and then give yourself little um, little rewards. I mean, they don't have to be have money tied to it or anything. Go out for a walk in your favorite park, or go to the animal shelter and pet some puppies, or volunteer to take a dog for a walk, or bake yourself the healthiest oatmeal cookies that you can find. Just little things. Paint, if you love to paint, but you just haven't had the time for it, or you just think it's not worth it. Sit down, get your paints out, get your watercolors or your canvases out, and just take the time for you. Take the time for you, and do something that's going to give you happiness. And by you getting obtaining these little goals, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you get these little rewards, then you'll be motivated to do more, and you'll be motivated to keep going, because it is hard when you got a giant goal, like I do, to lose 120 or 30 pounds. That's going to take a long time. That is going to take a long time. Also, getting ready to travel the world. I mean, that's a huge goal. That's a huge goal, to get financially ready, to get emotionally ready, to, what am I going to do with all my stuff? Selling everything and hitting the road. That's huge. That's a huge goal, and it's a long way in the future. So you got to keep yourself sustained in the long run. And that's kind of where I am now. I know that I just started this journey in December, and now it's February, so I have a long way to go, but the little goals that I have achieved so far have been exciting and have given me joy and motivation to keep going. So if you have anything to add, please put a comment below. How do you deal with resistance? When did you first realize what resistance was and why you have it, and how are you getting past it? Please leave a comment below and join our little community here, and let me know how things are going. And I hope you were having the most wonderful winter, better than me. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.